All right, good morning, everyone out there. The program is Perspectives this morning, and my name is Jacqueline Adepija. We're streaming live, so you can start with us as we begin the program. Welcome once again. Hope your day is going off on a start that you would really like and be happy with. As parties and politics goes in Nigeria, it would be difficult to ignore a party like the People's Democratic Party, talking about the PDP. For those who are political stalwarts and people who are interested in politics, especially in Kaduna State, you would know, of course, that the PDP has, had the rulership of, or the administration of this state for the longest time, until at least from when our nascent democracy started, until 2015, when all of that changed. What has the PDP been up to? What are the issues that we hear today that are emanating from the party itself? As a matter of fact, some people will tell you that these issues have succeeded in dampening the level of opposition that this party would be able to put forward. And for some, it hasn't affected it. But who better to hear from than the party chairman himself? I'm talking about Honorable Felix Hassan Hiet. He's with us live in the studios this morning, and I welcome you, sir. You're welcome to Invicta. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Well, like I said in my preamble, a number of things have happened in Kaduna State since 2015, when, the toga of the administration of this state changed. And both within the state and within your party, there has been a lot of things going on. Probably even some people will say very interesting intrigues and drama going on within the party. But just could you tell us, just give us a brief overview of what you've been, doing in the party and all of that since you were chairman. I take it that this is your second time around since 2015.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's been going on?
Well, definitely, as you said in your preamble, we were in government for 16 years, and the changes that came in 2015, which you could say a massive defeat for the PDP. In so many states of the Federation, Kaduna happened to be one of the states that was affected. And if you remember very well, many people wrote off PDP from existence. Even people who led the party at the highest level. So, say somebody like President Obasanjo, who was a president under PDP for good 8 years. He said the PDP was dead and was just waiting to be buried. Now, at that critical time, 2016, I came into office as chairman. And we started from what we could say, from the scratch. Fortunately for me, I was a foundation member of the party in the state. I was the first state financial secretary. So I knew how we started the party and took it to success. So I went back to my memory and I started working. And the whole thing was that it is not as if the members of the party have deserted the party by membership, but rather members of the party felt aggrieved in so many ways at different levels. Therefore, some, we can say, work against the party. Some decided to withdraw and to let things be anyhow. But there was the general feeling in the country at that time that changes were required. and the changes really took place. So when I took over, we started monitoring what the new government was doing, and we started cashing on their areas of lapses to rebuild the party. And the testing ground came when we had the local government elections. And against all the norms, we were able to win many local governments. Some were outrightly denied, but some were left. And some local governments, the election could not be concluded up to date. And seeing that the people were coming back to the party, even those who left the party at that time started coming back when they realized that they took a voyage that was taking them to destruction. And they turned around and they joined the party. And I can say that the output of the party in the 2019 general elections showed a marked difference and improvement over that of 15. And let us realize that over that of 15, we always talk of incumbency. But at that time, the incumbency became our undoing, because with the incumbency at the national, at the state, at the local government, at the world level, we lost the election woefully. But when we came without incumbency, we started picking up, and we gave the government, the ruling party, a very good fight. And therefore, people have continuously been coming up, especially those who felt aggrieved at that time, realizing that they went there and what they thought could be the situation, a better thing for them, they ended up finding out it was not so. And they realized that the party was picking up again, and they joined hands with us. So, I can say,
and you welcomed them.
Yeah, of course, because the party is always interested in people, members. And when somebody leaves the party and comes back, he's coming back with some new ideas. He has seen something somewhere. He left you because he felt aggrieved, but for him to come back to you, he feels that you are better off. So it's a plus.
Well, that remains to be seen, because for some of us who have been following the intrigues, the factions and the breakup that seems to be going on or threatened to happen or already happened in the PDP, I would like to hear from you, because, you know, we are only on the outside watching in, but we also have information. Some of these people are people who have crossed the carpet not once and not twice. And so sometimes the citizenry is pushed to beg, to ask the question, are these movements ideological, based on ideological differences, or is it just about where my bread is buttered? Now, against that background, I would like to ask what the issues are right now in the PDP, because we know that there are people in the PDP, some of them who have crossed the carpet several times, some of them once, who are not happy with the fact that you are chairman. They believe that some untoward things happened during the local government, the party congresses at ward level upwards the last time during this your new re-election. And there are some other things that we've heard. But what exactly is the position? What is really going on, at least from your perspective?
Well, from my perspective, let me say that you talk of people who has gone out, come back, gone out, come back. Whether it is an issue of personal interest or it is something fundamentally wrong. I would say that it's an issue of personal interest, because most of times the politicians are being accused of putting their personal interests ahead of the public interest. Now, If you left the party, you came back. You left the party, you came back. And anytime you came back to what? To contest. Not to support somebody to contest, but to contest yourself. So it is an issue of your personal interest and not the interest of the society. So if you feel that there is anybody who did not support you in the first contest, you are likely to think that he will not support you this time around. And since your determination is to contest, then you feel that he becomes your number one opponent. Let me not call enemy, but opponent. A stumbling block to you. So whatever you will do to roll him aside and get what you think you will get, you will do it for people of that nature. There are people who are being misled by the people of personal interest to think that something has gone wrong fundamentally. And when you sit and you analyze it, then you realize that there's nothing that went wrong fundamentally. Of course, it's a process, and you can have some flaws here or there, but nothing substantial that will make you feel that something fundamentally has gone wrong, that you want to throw the bathwater together with the baby. Now, specifically talking about the issue of the congresses, right from the wards to the local government to the state, I have become surprised because some of them are well educated to know the truth. They are well connected with the party to seek any areas of ambiguity, and they have been active participants, both at the ward, the local government, and at the state level. So when the party rolled out its timetable for congresses all over the country, we were divided into batches. We happened to come in the second batch that we had our world congresses on the 13th of March. On the 13th of March. Now, many people are being misled that it is the state that has done anything. The truth of the matter is that by the constitution of the party, the state, the role of the state in conducting congresses is very, very minimal, because it is the National Working Committee acting on behalf of NEC that sets up Congress committees, sets up appeal committee, and the appeal committee does not end at the appeal committee that comes to the state, but the National Working Committee constituted itself into an appeal committee so that whoever is dissatisfied can go up to that extent, and the party provides even up to NEC level for whoever is dissatisfied with them. Now, like on the 13th, our state Congress committee was headed by a sitting governor, Governor Pintiri of Adamawa State, and the appeal committee was headed by a former deputy governor from Niger State. So if you have people of this caliber that have come and conducted an exercise and they took their report back to the national, we are not entitled to the report of the committee on appeal, but we are entitled to receive results, our own copy of results of the Congress committee, and that is what they left behind, our own copies, and they took the original copies to the national headquarters. We don't have authority to approve. The approval comes from the national. Our own is we are directed to, these are the successful people, you inaugurate them. Now, what really happened at that time? This issue of COVID-19 came up, and every activity was disorganized. And during that, the national sent a list, an approved list of the result. And immediately they sent it, we verify it with the copies of the results that the electoral committee left behind for us. And we saw some discrepancies. We requested from INEC, that is saddled with the responsibility of monitoring the congresses, we applied for a true certified copy of INEC, and they gave us, and what we found out was that it tallied with what the committee left behind, but there were some areas of discrepancies with what the national sent as approved. So we alerted them, and they said, okay, we should tabulate those areas of concern and send it back to them so that they can study it. And when they study it and they check, they realize that yes, what they gave is different from, even some of the areas is different from what they also received. So somebody played a game along the run, and the issue was rectified. So the National Working Committee sent a corrected list and said this one supersedes any other one that was given. And it was at that time that we visually inaugurated the local government, the world congresses. And we thought that everything was supposed to halt. Then the lockdown took effect so much up to the time that we could not continue the congresses all over the country where vacancies were existing. The National Working Committee, acting on behalf of NEC of the party, transmitted a decision that at all levels, caretaker committee, those who were officials should constitute themselves to caretaker committee. So it was not restricted to Kaduna. It was all over the country. So immediately that one came, some people felt that, well, since we will be presiding over the congresses after our tenure has expired and we are caretaker, they don't agree. And at the end of the day, the National accepted that if people don't agree with that, dissolve, set up a what do you call it? A committee from outside. A committee from outside. So the chairman and the secretary came from outside, and interest groups from within the state were asked to make some nominations, and we were dissolved, and a caretaker committee came into place. It was the caretaker committee that handled the local government congresses. Now, a problem arose, or cries arose, that which list are they going to use? National gave them the list. We didn't give the list because we are not an authority to provide the caretaker committee or the the Congress committee with a list. The list is an approved list from the national, and they transmitted it to the caretaker committee directly. And the caretaker committee conducted the congresses. We were outside. At that time, we have been dissolved. So I was a member of the party like any other person. The same caretaker committee conducted the state congress. And everybody knows that we have never had a state congress that lasted for 2 days. We started on Saturday morning, and it was the early hours of Monday before results were finalized and we were sworn in under the caretaker committee. So if somebody comes and is talking that the party or the party chairman has changed this, has changed that, where do I have the authority? I don't have the authority over any other thing. Any list that is used for the purposes of congresses is always an authenticated list from the national headquarters of the party. So if people are not happy, let them ask the national headquarters, where is the list that you sent? And let them come and verify. They didn't even give the list to us to use. They gave it the list to the caretaker committee to use in conducting the congresses. So what is our role there? Virtually nothing.
Chairman, sir, I need to come in at this point and say to you that what I have heard as a journalist from some of your members is that some of them really do not have a problem with you as a person, but they feel like you are beholden to someone who they feel worked against the party, especially during the last elections. And therefore, to have you as chairman of that party would mean that they have someone who worked against the party during the last elections. How would you respond to that?
Definitely, that is a very, very wrong thing to for anybody who is a member of the party to say. We operate an open door policy. There's none of such people who has come to the office either to me as a person, because all of them know me as a person. We have a good working relationship, personal relationship with all of them. And if you have a problem of that nature, why don't you, it is an insinuation. Why don't you come, let us discuss? What is that problem? And I don't see the problem. As a matter of fact, if you want me to severe relationship with somebody simply because you don't agree with him or you have something about him which you did not verify, you want me to pick up your quarrels on behalf of yourself, join hands with you to fight somebody?
But Chairman, sir, do you think that such rumors would just spring up without some basis at all?
When you are told, earlier I analyzed the issue of personal interest in politics, so they can spring up.
Okay. Yeah. You're listening to Honorable Felix Hassan Hiet in the building this morning, talking about the Kaduna chapter's PDP chairman, and we have been talking about some issues. I'm sure quite a number of PDP party members and stalwarts will be ready to jump in on the phone lines when we do have them open. We'll be right back. Let's go on this commercial break. When we get back, we'll be asking you how well you think PDP has done as opposition in these years that have passed. Stay with us. You're listening to Invicta 98.9. Observe how well have you been able to criticize, and even above that, how well have you been able to work with the government or the party that is ruling right now, the party that is administering over the state or at any level. It's all a part of opposition. How well has PDP been able to do these things, especially putting into focus the matter of insecurity?
Okay. Well, let me say that definitely the PDP has been shut out completely because APC maintains a system of complete exclusiveness. Nobody participates from outside. During the PDP, we ran a government whereby there were commissioners from other parties. We had a special advisor to the governor on inter-party matters, who was always meeting with chairmen of other political parties, hearing their views, their complaints, and tabling them before the governor. But in this present circumstance, at this style of government, you don't have it. And because you don't have it, all you can do is to talk to the press. You cannot talk to the government directly because the government does not recognize anybody that's outside.
So this
APC.
Means, Chairman, that you actually actively reached out to the APC to work together with them, but you were shut out because when you say they operate exclusively, I'm tempted to ask, did you actively reach out that, look, in these areas, in these matters, especially concerning insecurity, because it affects all of us, we want to work together. What exactly is going on? What can we do? Did you actively reach out and you were shut out?
I know a few officials of the government, based on my former privileged position as SFG. I've had to call them to tell them this is my thinking, and this is what I feel they should do. We discuss with security agencies that we are friendly with. We say this is what should be done. But on the general outlook, everything about government in this type of democracy centers around the governor. Whether my discussion with anybody reaches the ears of the governor or not, I don't know. Now,
so that means we cannot say that you were actively shut out because you did not actively seek his attention to say, this is our problem. I mean, this matter of insecurity is our problem in this state, and we're willing to work with you if you would just open the doors for us to see what we can do together.
You know that you have a governor in this state whereby anything that has to do with PDP, who has called PDP names as if he never was a member of PD at a certain time. You should know that as a matter of fact. So if you know somebody who, even to greet him, he feels that you don't have a right to greet him, why should you go and write that you want to go and discuss that? Let's face realities.
Yes, sir.
The structure we had on ground for security completely put off. What I mean is that if you are talking about security, as Aaron said yesterday, everybody should be involved in security, and security is not a political issue. But I dare say that when he spoke, he was a political appointee, isn't it, in government. The security agencies top shots that he talked about, they are appointed on political basis. They were not appointed purely because they are military people, but their offices are political. So by the time you start talking, and they shut you off, they say, no, don't bring politics into security. But those who are handling the security are politically appointed. So I don't understand what he means. And no, I'm coming. I want, because he said something yesterday. I really appreciate the update that let people be informed of what is going on. But when he said that he goes to Beningwali every week, good and fine. He doesn't go alone. He goes with a retinue of security to protect him. But the ordinary people from Beningwali, do they have that opportunity? And that is why when they leave Beningwali for Kaduna or Kaduna for Beningwali, they are killed on the way. So even if he is staying there and the people are not safe, of what value is it to them? If the security architecture has improved and people are being killed on a daily basis, then what will the people say? People will just say that, look, this is just government talk and nothing else.
This is why a number of people, or should I say a number of citizens, are concerned, especially on matters of insecurity or security, as the case may be. People feel like the PDP should have been more active in offering up their services. There was the peace, the meeting in Kafanchan. Was the PDP actively involved, or did they even offer to be there to see that? Because people are dying every day. It doesn't matter whether the people are APC stalwarts, PDP stalwarts, or even people who are apolitical, people who do not care about politics. They just care about their daily living. So a lot of citizens are asking, why the PDP did not actively, because when you made that statement, one would say, okay, probably you offered up yourselves to be of service to this administration, especially in securing the lives and properties of Kaduna State citizens, but you were shut out. But there was, from what you said, there was really no, that rapprochement, the coming together, such that you can use that as evidence to say, we did go to them and say, we want to work with you, but they shut us out.
I think
more of an informal attempt that you made.
You see, I told you that we had a structure in PD when we were in government, so that people can all participate. And if that's
in the matters of insecurity,
everything. It's not just. It's just. It's not just everything.
How different is that structure from what is happening today? Can you just enlighten?
Look, if now the governor appoints somebody to be liaising with other political parties, isn't it? What is going on in the state? he will definitely be enriched with the thinking of other people.
But did you have that during?
Yes, we did.
You had someone who was liaising with opposition?
Yes, we did. A full office of a special advisor to the governor. I said it earlier. Now, the issue of Kafanchan, all of us are from, some of us that are from that environment, we have gone into contact and even groups that invited us to advise on what they should do on security. We are all from there. We have been living together with the local Fulani there. Everybody knows it. We didn't have any problem. And therefore we keep telling them that we must join hands together, because those who are said to be the real culprits are said to be Fulani from outside the state and even outside the country. Now, if it is so, it will mean that we have to liaise with the local Fulani and come to terms with them. We have been having difficulties before, but we have always sat down together and discussed, and everything went on smoothly. Why now? Why should the things now? Now, the meeting you talk about in Kafanchan, if you go there, you will find out that 90% of the members are people not of APC as a party, but they were not invited under the umbrella of PDP. They were invited based on the fact that they are indigents of the place and they can pay contribution, and they honored it. So if you come and say that because the party as a party did not participate, then the invitation was not even extended to the party as a party. So if you go there, whatever you say, they say don't bring politics into security, as if expressing an opinion and telling people what you did before that paid off has certainly become an issue of politics. Where do we place experience then? If I pass through the office of SSG, I've discussed with so many people at various levels, different members of the community, on issues that had to do with security and development. If I talk, I said, last time, this is why we did it. So don't bring politics into it. Definitely, you will now realize that the government itself is limiting itself from getting wide participation and support from the public.
If you've just joined us, in the studio with us is the Kaduna PDP chairman, Kaduna State Chapter, in the person of Honorable Felix Hassan Hiet. Time for us to hear from you, your questions, and any other observation that you might have. And the lines are open. The numbers are 081 40,000 989 and 07087 800 989. Once again, the lines are open and the numbers are 081 40,000 989 and 07087 800 989. Just go straight to your question, please. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome.
This is Clement from Kaduna.
You're welcome. Go ahead quickly.
You see, every time I hear your voice, Madam Jacqueline, I am as happy as the team, especially your contribution on political issues. How I wish you are one of these stalwarts in the party. But that is not possible now. Then, Mr. Hyatt.
Yes, please.
I would like to ask you, who is Mr. Gora? And how good you have your relationship with him? You cannot tell me, as a party chairman in the state, you don't have enemies. Definitely you must have enemies. If you say you don't have enemies, you are not telling us the truth. Why we are telling you this now is because we don't want the PDP to fail in the next election, 2023. We will not be happy. And if you don't build your house right from now, sorry, be the name of party, I mean of PDP that time, which we are not praying for. You always pray for your success. Please, in the issue of security, the issue of security has been politicized already. So please, whatever it might take Nigerians to bring to an end the insecurity in this country, the better for us.
Right.
Foreign countries are laughing at us, especially the white.
Well,
where in this world?
Yes,
where
sir.
in this world?
Round it up, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, where in this world that you hear that they are killing people like what is happening in Nigeria today? It's a disgrace or not? You people go out every time and see other countries churning. I told you sometimes over this radio that people from the north who are in the south will never want to come back here because of the insecurity. What is the problem with the northerners?
Okay.
Killing
Okay, so we get that you're concerned about the insecurity. Thank you so much, sir. And indeed, these issues of insecurity go beyond that. Even in the South, we do have these issues. I'm sure if you're following the news, you know what's going on. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, my chairman.
Good morning, my dear.
I'm Kure, my name.
Go ahead quickly, Kure.
Honestly, you have spoken very well. But I just want you to use this advantage of insecurity that is ravaging Nigeria and hardship that we have been finding in this regime and do something so that your party will come back strongly in Kaduna. Not only in Kaduna, the whole Nigeria as a whole. Because me, if I tell you that I didn't suffer about insecurity, I'm telling you like. Have a wonderful day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kure, for your contribution. Still taking your calls this morning with Honorable Felix Hassan Hiet. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Jackie.
You're welcome.
Good morning to our chairman.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
My name is Comrade Gabriel, the unpaid man.
Go ahead quickly.
My prayer is that, in fact, when Buhari was crying the television, for example, I was crying side by side with him, thinking that when they come, things were going to change. We are praying seriously that there should be changes in this country because a lot of people, both in APC and PDP and other parties, will suffer a lot. So I pray that may the Almighty God bless. And I'm also urging the chairman because I know him personally. We were in his office once like that when we were in the struggle to say that I would cannot tell that limited place. In fact, he made some promises when he was in the church during the Akua. So I pray that by the grace of God, PDP, when they came, let them try to say that they put this Texas to revive them and revive not only Texas, refineries, Jokuta, in fact, create job for Nigeria. So that's one of the things that is bringing insecurity.
Okay, we're taking one last call. Hello, good morning. Yes, your last caller, quickly, please. You're welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you. Good morning.
Hello, sir. Your line isn't too clear. Insecurity and education, right?
Yes, I think
Unfortunately, I had to let you go, but I think he was talking about insecurity and education. Honorable, it's been great hearing from the people, and I think that quite a number of people will say to you that if they had a choice in the next elections, they probably would go for something completely fresh than, the same old, same old. Someone asked you a question about who someone is in your party. You've had the PDP. It's obvious that come 2023, the PDP really has its job cut out for it in showing the people something new, because the people are indeed looking for that, or that face that would give what it's promised. And right now in Kaduna State, a lot of people would say that the PDP is yet to show that newness, that coming out with something new so that the people will say, oh, why don't we go try that out? And I'm sure you heard that from quite a number of your party stalwarts who said, we need to get this house in order. That's what they said to you.
Okay, thank you. The same person who asked who is Gora, I don't know really which Gora he is talking about, but I am assuming it is one Colonel Gora who is very close to me, who attended the same secondary school with him. I gave him a couple of years. I don't think I have a problem with him as a person. And he said, he made a statement which took me aback, that if I say I don't have enemies, I'm telling a lie. I don't know who those enemies are, but I have political opponents that disagree with me. Those who know me know that I have the patience, I have the time to listen to criticism and to accept where things are wrong and make an amendment. To me, is an act of confidence in myself that yes, I am not a perfect human being, and people can add to my value and to my success. And that is why we open up by setting up committees. When you set up committee, the last person who spoke, all these things is let people come together, sit and look at various aspects of the party and provide advices and solutions. And because politics is all about people, and if I sit here as chairman, I'm sitting because I know that there are people who are interested in the party, who want the party to succeed, who want to give me support. It is my responsibility to appeal to them that yes, we can do it together. But I always appeal to people that in the course of criticizing, you should know the language you use so that the person will appreciate and understand what you want. But some people, when they come, it is nothing but condemnation. Nothing is good, everything is bad, everything is bad. Then you start asking, he has not even told you what is there that is bad, what is there that is not good, and what does he think he can do. So all these people that are talking, they have my telephone numbers, they know, they come to me in the guest house, they come to my house, they come to the office. We share experiences. If you disagree with me, it is normal that you can disagree because you have your own way of thinking as an issue. Then coming to the issue of security, let me say it very clearly. For you to have a good grip of the security, involve organizations, traditional institutions, religious leaders. Now, there are times when leaders make comments, it becomes very, very unfortunate. Like I was reading this morning, the governor of Kogi saying that vaccine will kill people. For goodness sake, when a governor has come out to say that, when will somebody in Sokoto who had that statement accept vaccine? Don't localize it to Kogi State. His position as a governor. So he is bold enough to tell us that it is a lie. These vaccines are not going to kill the coronavirus, but it's going to kill us. Then automatically we are going back. All the efforts so far made in fighting coronavirus have been rubbish by one statement, by one person. Therefore, so also the issue of security. As a matter of fact, if you get all these traditional institutions, religious leaders at various levels, they have to come out, talk to people. Talk to people. All those that are creating crisis, they live within the people. They only go back to the bush and to the forest. But let me ask, I once asked a retired colonel, I said, is there anybody that will become a commissioned officer without passing through the training forest in Katia local government, my local government? He says it's not possible. Out of
time, Chairman. We've run out of time, but yeah, finish what
he said. It's not possible. I said that then, if they know that place, which is a thick forest, and they train there year in, year out, how can bandits be there and terrorizing the people, and the military cannot flush them out. So I said, these are all some of the things that are going on. At the end of the day, it is all of us insisting that the situation must change. Not change through Gora, as they did in 2015 when they said it, but change through dialogue, understanding, and development.
And the eyes of the people are on you to also ensure not just the government, but also you.
And I'm not going to disappoint them by the grace of God.
All right, you've been listening to the chairman of the PDP here in Kaduna State, Honorable Felix Hassan Hiet, has been in the building. Thank you so much for all who contributed to the program. And here is hoping that all of you continue to stay with us here on Invicta. Do have a victorious day.